At the same time, a Spaniard named Alvar Núñez Cabeza daVaca and a slave named Estevanico staggered into Mexico City after wandering for 8 years through the American Southwest, where their ship had wrecked off the coast of Texas. They told fantastic stories of cities in the north with great wealth. The Spaniards had heard the legendary tales of 7 magnificent cities in the lands north of Mexico, and they believed that Cabeza daVaca must have seen them. A dashing officer named Francisco Vasquez de Coronado was chosen to lead a grand expedition to find the 7 golden cities of Cibola. In February 1540, Coronado led a force of more than 300 Spanish conquistadors, 800 allied Indians, and nearly 1,000 black and Indian slaves northward from Nueva Galicia on the west coast of Mexico, north of Puerto Vallarta. Coronado himself led an advance party of about 100 soldiers and Indians into what is now Arizona. Coronado and his troops came upon a Zuni pueblo in what is now New Mexico, but they had no gold or other riches.
The Zuni very intelligently told him that he would find gold elsewhere, and so he pushed on to the Hopi Pueblo. And when they did arrive at the Hopi Pueblo in Arizona, the Hopi greeted them and kept their ears to the ground, and what they found was that, in fact, it was intended that they be enslaved. And so they rose up against the Spanish conquerors and, at least in the short term, had some success, although eventually they were conquered.
Coronado sent one of his officers, Garcia Cardenas, with a small force to the north and west. In mid-September 1540, Cardenas and his men reached the rim of the Grand Canyon, the first Europeans to ever see this natural wonder. That winter, Coronado moved his headquarters east to an Indian settlement on the Rio Grande, just north of what is now Albuquerque. He then led his expedition eastward into the northern panhandle of Texas. He followed the Red and Canadian rivers across the Staked Plains, making the European discovery of the Palo Duro and the Tule Canyons. But there was no gold.
Coronado's expeditions, all told, ended up securing that portion of the continent for the Spanish crown, even if this area did not immediately seem to produce riches in the form of gold. So they certainly secured the Spanish stronghold in that part of the continent, and also his descriptions and his soldiers' descriptions of the area that they traveled in were very elaborate, and so it served to map out that part of the continent.